All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, or afternoon, or even good evening, depending what time you're watching this video. All right, so the last video we did, I talked about the picking. I was doing a little bit of the thumb picking. Hope you've had a chance to practice that. But I got a couple of comments there about how to do the walk down, how to do the G walk down. And it's a bit of, if you've got a bit of theory about how you can walk, from C to G and different lengths like that, it will help. But it's very, very simple to do. And I've got my two cameras set up today so you can see it a bit clearer. I'll try and help you this way. But basically what we're going to do is, because we've got, okay, if everybody understands your chords, your chord structure. So our one chord is our C, right? And then we've got four chords on F, and then the fifth chord is our G. So with that in mind, when we've got the one and the fifth, which is the C and the G, right, we can come down to the fifth and we can play our bass notes with the fifth. So that works with C to G. It also works when we're playing F to C. Okay, because the F is the one chord, right? The B flat is our fourth, and C is our fifth. All right, so if you remember that when you've got your chords and things like that, so it's something that we can D to A. So if you remember your one chord, if you know your chord structures, whatever key it is, then you've got your fourth chord and your fifth chord. These are the major chords in the scale. And so if we understand that, we can do this with any chord that we want to. We just find our fifth and we make it like a bass root, if you like. So we've got a root note, and then we have we drop down to our bass note. So this, and if we play them both together, like this, we get what we call a C over G. Okay? It's basically just an inversion. And an inversion is a different way of playing the chord triad. And I'm throwing all these others. If you already know music, great. If you don't, and I've kind of geared these towards some beginners, so bear with me. A triad is the three notes of a major chord, or pretty much any chord. All right, so okay, that's our triad, and then but we change it around. See, we get a different flavor because we put the G note in there, and see so. Right, so we're playing a C, but we're adding a G in there. Right, so that helps us understand we've got our fifth. A triad is made of the first, the third, and the fifth note in the scale. And we can just backwards and forwards these. Especially if we're doing country, we can do that. Oh, he does it with Scottish folk as well. It could vary our strumming patterns, and we'll do a lesson on strumming patterns in the near future. But somebody asked me to help them with the walk down, and so that's what I'm going to do today. So, but you have to understand the fifth. That's where we're going to, because we're going to start the walk up or the walk down. We're going to walk up and down from the fifth. Okay, so if we start on the C here, right? All right, that's our walk down to the fifth, which is G. So C walk down. So third fret, second fret, open string. All right, so I'll come up here so you can see a little better. Maybe on the second camera, okay? All right, and then we're playing this note here, playing this one here, okay? So we're going ding, ding, open, ding. All right, so you can see that a bit better, okay? Open string. And when we walk up, we basically do the same thing. You'll hear that a lot in strumming patterns in country. Now we can go back down. Now, the exact same thing is true to go a walk up from C to F, okay? But we're just doing it on different strings. So rather than doing it on the here on the low E string. Okay, we're going to do this on the A string here. So we're going to start at C instead of, so C is our fifth note in the F scale. So we're going to go, and we're going to walk up to F. And that, so, okay, so from C, open string. Then we can walk back down again. C. I'm going to walk down to G. See if I can get a better position so you can see this a little bit better. I want you to be able to get this. So, okay, so maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe a bit out of focus, but maybe you can see what we're doing. All right, so you can see the string vibrating there. Okay, so it's C. This is a C note here. Okay, it's C note here, right? Right, this is G, C. Okay, so C, open string here, playing the D, open D. Now you can just play that picking pattern and then you can start adding the walking. So I hope that helps with your walking bass. And obviously, the more you practice that, the better it's going to be. But if you understand that you're walking from your fifth note back up to the first note, or the higher one, okay, the higher first. Because if you understand the scale, you've got your first note, so C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right. So C is the one note or the tonic. All right. And so when we can go like that, so C. All right, so any of our scale, and any scale we do, and that's why you use the Roman numerals like that, or the numerical scale. And if this is maybe a bit of you might have seen this, you might have seen capital Roman numerals, like you'll see a capital I and then a capital II, or uppercase, and then you'll see them in lowercase, right? So you'll see a capital I, and then you'll see a lowercase II, right, for the Roman numeral 2. What that denotes is the large ones denote a major chord, and the lower ones, the lowercase, denote a minor chord. And in our scales, our first, our fourth, and our fifth will always be capitalized because they're the major chords in our scale. We'll not go into modes, but when you see like, so we've got, and then you see a 6, and it'll be in lowercase. That'll be the minor. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much theory today. There's plenty of other videos. If you would like to study some theory, I'd be glad to do that. But I was really wanting to make sure you understood the walking notes here today. And so we'll do that. I'll do that again so you can kind of play with me. Okay, so C. I'm going to alternate our picking strings. And the picking pattern I'm doing with the thumb. So I'm starting on the A string, which I'm playing C up here. Okay, so I'm just going to alternate between this one. So I'm going to go 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. Okay. And then we just practice our speed. All right. So hope that helps you with your walking things, walking bass notes. All right. And you can also walk up with the thumb. So if like the one I was doing, a very common thing in like bluegrass is to go to the minor, and then go to the there'll be a major 2 chord in our scale, and then go back to the 5th. And I like to use my thumb to walk up from that to G. It's very, very common in like some bluegrass music. So I hope that's been a bit more helpful for you in the walking. But just remember that you're going from the 5th, so you're going down to the 5th, and then you're coming back up to the 1st note of the scale. So whatever chord you're playing in, of course, if you're just beginning, feel free to get a capo or a capo, however you want to say it, and stick it on, and it'll be the same thing wherever you are up the fret. That's the beauty of the guitar, is you can use the same patterns, and they'll be the same all the way up in this way. Right? That's the one. I'm going to show you this one. Okay, I'll give you a little bit extra. All right. So the one that I was doing last week, this is a different walk up. Now you're going to notice something that we're going to get out of our scale just a little bit, but it's okay to play a note that's not in the scale as long as it follows on with other notes. All right. So if you're doing a walk up, if you're walking up the scale, it's fine to play a note that's not in the scale, because it will fit as long as the other notes on either side of it are in the scale. All right. All right. So I'm playing. Okay. So I'm actually going to play a B flat, which is not in the scale of C, but as you'll hear, it's going to work. It's going to sound pretty cool, but it's not in the scale, but it works because I'm just going up it. I'm not landing on that. All right. All right, we can do that. You see how that works? Right, what we're doing here, going from the C, we're doing a normal walk down. It's okay. Back to our G. Okay, but then when we come up, we're going to add in an extra note. So we can go G, A, B, B flat, sorry, B, C. So we're adding in that extra note, and it just gives it a little bit more flavor. Okay, now, like I said, B flat, it's not in the key of C. C doesn't have any flats or sharps in it. So when you see notation and it's just the treble clef, and there's no flats and sharps, you know it's in the key of C. Okay, so. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, hope that helps you with your walking. Like I said, if you're just walking down, you can walk down the scale to the 5th and back up in any chord that you like to do, as long as with the major chords and such like that. And it will be able to add a little bit more flavor to your bass note picking. But as I said, as long as you got the timing right. Now, if you're in 4/4, it's going to work. It's going to work fine. As long as that 5th note is your first note there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Do that. All right. So when just play around with it, have some fun with the guitar. There's just some extra little things that you can add in the bass notes, and it gives a bit more flavor to your guitar playing. I certainly hope you enjoyed that. And I'm going to do another question was about hammer-ons and things like that, and I'll do that in another lesson. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed that. So practice your bass runs and with your thumb. Thumbs are oftentimes very much forgotten. Now, if you're a lead guitarist, then you're not going to worry about that. You've just got your pick and things like that. But I'm not a shredder on the electric guitar, but I do have a friend who wants to come on and show us some stuff. So I'm going to get some other folks to come on, and if you're interested in lead guitar, and then we'll give a shout out to them. And certainly an acoustic player. Do like to play bluegrass and things like that, lead on the acoustic, but it's more from flat picking and things like that. So, but if you've got any questions about flat picking or just general acoustic guitar in general, I'll be happy to try and do those. As I say, I'm just new to the whole teaching thing, but I'm just trying to share some tips that I do, and hopefully it's of use to someone else. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.